Hello, I'm Martha Cannon. I'm a Royal College specialist in feline medicine and co-owner of the Oxford Cat Clinic. And about 4 or 5 years ago now, we adopted a policy of neutering cats at 4 months rather than 6 months. And so I'm here today to talk about that and to introduce my colleague Eleanor, who is neutering cats every day for us and who is a real champion of pre-pubertal neutering. So Eleanor, you joined us in 2013 and already had experience of pre-pubertal neutering, so you were kind of an advocate then.
Yes.
What do you see as the main benefits of neutering at 4 months rather than 6?
It's a very quick surgery and the recovery time is very, very quick. Cats are usually awake and eating in 20 to 30 minutes. And because it's such a small incision, the discomfort post-operatively is almost non-existent. And so cats go home without a collar, which is a great advantage to both the cat and the owner.
But it must come as quite a shock to owners sometimes when you start talking about neutering.
It does.
Yeah,
we start usually at the first time we meet the kitten. So usually a first vaccine when it's already only 9 weeks old. But we tell owners why we do this. We discuss the surgery with them, the benefits for the cat, but also the benefit for them and their cat not getting pregnant.
Yeah.
And once they're aware of those things, then it's something that they're very willing to do. So it's not a hard sell to owners.
Yeah. But looking at the bigger picture, it must have a bigger impact on reducing unwanted litters.
Yes, without a doubt. I think that owners underestimate the reproductive capacity of their cat. Many owners don't realise that their kitten can get pregnant at 4 months when it's still a kitten. And so by neutering them at 4 months, we eliminate that possibility that cat will get pregnant. So
if you've got an owner who is worried about pre-pubertal neutering, what do you say to them to encourage them?
Well, we discuss the benefits of the surgery for the cat, so how quick it is, how easy it is at that age. These cats, they don't have well-developed blood vessels, which makes the surgery quite easy. It makes it quite safe for them. There's less chance of any bleeding, so that's good for the cat. It's also a shorter surgery time, which is good for the cat. And we discuss with them all of the precautions we take in anaesthetising young cats. So making sure that the cat has eaten that morning, making sure there's only a 2 or 3 hour period of time where they've not eaten, weighing them very carefully, measuring drugs very carefully, monitoring them. There is a nurse with them at all times, monitoring them from the minute we pre-med them until they're awake and eating. Yeah.
So I guess it's confidence, isn't it? If we're confident that what we're doing is the right thing, it's easy.
I mean, if this was my cat,
to translate that
precisely,
to owners and bring them on
exactly.
board.
So if it was our cats, we would be neutering them for 4 months, and owners recognise that.
And what about vets? How do you find, when you're talking to new vets coming to the practice, how do you find they take to the idea?
Yeah, funnily enough, vets can be more resistant than owners. And I think the longer you've been neutering cats at 6 months or older, then the more difficult it is. But once they do the surgery, they see how easy it is, how quickly they recover, they come round to it.
Yeah.
Smaller cats, doing anaesthetics on these small cats can be daunting.
Yeah.
But we make sure we weigh them very carefully. These are not cats that are fasted overnight. We only fast them 2 or 3 hours.
That's a big change, isn't it?
It's a big change. And I think a lot of vets are worried about the long-term consequences of pre-pubertal neutering, for which there is absolutely no evidence that neutering at 4 months has any adverse effects compared to 6 months.
So as far as you know, are the educational establishments, the vet schools and nursing colleges, are they supporting the idea of pre-pubertal neutering?
As far as I'm aware, yes, most new grads coming out have been introduced to the idea that neutering should start at 4 months.
Yeah, so ultimately it will become the new norm.
Yeah, it will.
So as you can see, we see big benefits for the individual and indeed for the owners when we recommend neutering at 4 months rather than 6. But it does really have bigger impact than that across the country, and UK-wide, if vets adopt this as a normal practice, it would have a huge impact on the number of unwanted kittens and unexpected litters with all the welfare issues that go with that, and particularly it would reduce the number of cats that end up in shelters needing rehoming, because if we don't produce those unwanted litters in the first place, we don't have that oversupply of cats. If you'd like further information, you can visit this website. It's got a wealth of information about the practicalities of the technique and the anaesthetic, but also a summary of all the evidence supporting this change.